Hello friends, welcome to Tutu's haw-lay. Today I am going to try to do some, gonna do some watercolor bookmarks, or if you don't read, if you use your Kindle and you're not using a real book, you could always use these as belly bands. And I think I said bookmark, but I need to say it the other way around. I'm trying to make a belly band for my personal journal, and I wanted to do it with watercolors. So today is going to be a watercolor experiment, and I pulled this out. I've already taped it just in an effort to kind of save time. And this is from watercolor pad A4, and it is, does it tell us what the GSM is? Somewhere, I don't see it. Yeah, 180 GSM. So they're a little thicker. Okay, I pulled several different brushes. I've never used this one. It came in some kind of, it's a Winsor & Newton Series 150, but it came in a Sketchbox, I believe. So I'm gonna try to see how that one works for the first time. This one I'm sure is a Meeden, a flat brush. And I'll probably only end up using one, and this is a round. So I'm gonna start with this one because I have not used it. Okay, so I think for the first one, this one, let me make sure I'm in. I am in. Oh, sorry. Hold on, dropping. Okay, so my thought for this first one is, I think, to try to what I have in mind is like a landscape vibe. But then we'll finish it with mark making. Maybe this one. Or we'll go this way. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to get my brush wet. I am going to do this wet on dry, I think. We're going to start with this lighter blue. And these are, I don't know if I said this or not, ganache paints. Tomby, that's what I was trying to think of. Okay, so we're going to start with this light blue. And for right now, we're just going to make some lines across our paper. And I am experimenting, so I think what I'd like to do is I was going to try to leave a little line, but I don't know if I need that or not. Or it might look better if I just let it kind of bloom and hello, Layla. Here comes the kitty. Are you gonna help? Ooh, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. The cat came up on the table and started stepping all over the watercolors pans, and they were sticking to her hands, and she was slinging them all over the place. You had to be here, I guess. Okay, so I didn't quite come up with enough color, and I'm thinking that the vision I had in my head, and now I know why I was wanting to leave a little line I'd forgotten earlier. But we're not going to let that stop us. It's just paper, right? So I've been having a really hard time getting motivated to go on camera to create. But then a couple of days ago, my dad called out of the blue, and I don't speak to him a whole lot. And he definitely probably has a whole lot more time on his hands right now than I do. But anyway, long story longer. Okay, this one is coming out a little darker than I had in my head, but that's okay. We're gonna make this work. And then when this dries, if you want, you could always go back in with the same color and touch it. Okay, we need those to dry so that we can go to the next step. Okay, I'm going to pick different colors for this next one. And I think I want to start out with a bright, like in my head I keep trying to make these like a landscape. Maybe that's not the right approach. But is there a right approach? And if you hear all the outside noise, I am so sorry. Again, we're in Hawaii. It's too hot to have the windows shut. And this is my day off. So, and the only time I'll probably have to record. So I'm just trying to go with the flow. Go with the flow. Okay, I do want this one to be different. And I guess, I don't know why I'm trying to make them so perfect. Let's do the opposite. Let's try not to make them so perfect. I may have to get out the dark because it looks like this one over here is not dry. It's puddling, and I probably should get paper towel over here too. Back to my dad. After talking to my dad, I couldn't stop thinking about it, because he had brought up a couple of things that I never knew. And as a kid, when you're growing up, you know, some things your parents keep from you, I think, because they think they're protecting you. Anyway, my dad happens to be, this is one of the conversations we had gotten on, he happens to be the last one of living, I guess I should say, of his siblings. So, I really like this color. I think I want it back in here somewhere. And he's not the oldest or the youngest. He is actually probably the third, I think, from being the youngest. Or no, maybe it's the opposite. But anyway, he's the only one left. And we got to talking about things. And, of course, he's reliving his history. And I totally see why, because the older I get, the more I think about our past and what we have done. Let me see, I'm trying to think. Is this going to come out? It's still really, really wet. I'm just playing it. And I think a part of another reason why he might be reliving so much is my mom passed away in 2018, so, and they were married, I don't know, like 60 years or something. Long time. I don't know why I always want to go for the blues, but this one I'm going to just try and do in the straight lines like I was talking about in the beginning that I did not do. Oh, but back to my dad. You know, he has memories and history that if we hadn't been on the phone that day and talking, I probably would have never known some of this. You know, for example, he never went to school. Well, he may have went to a few elementary grades, but back in his time, you know, they pulled the kids out of school to help work, to help bring, you know, he was on the cotton field. I believe my mom was too, to be honest. So they would keep the boys home, especially to help earn money, help, you know, get food for the family. So maybe he's closer to one of the older siblings, because I think his younger siblings, the younger two, did go to school. But it's so funny. Life is so different now. Or, you know, the world is so different. But my point with that whole thing was I kind of want to document some of my life with my husband. We have memories that if we don't tell them, you know, our kids might not even know some of it. And if you think back to it also, when you were a kid, your perspective was a lot different. Like, you weren't thinking about saying things as in the same manner or way that mom and dad was. You know, I look back now and think, man, they did provide a pretty stable, safe, especially now that I've been watching a lot of true crime, they provided a pretty steady, safe place for us to grow up. And one of the things my dad and I got to talking about was our cousins were over at our house. Well, from my dad's baby brother, which if any of my family is watching this, they'll be able to figure this out. Those particular cousins were at our house a lot. As a kid, I'm going to blot some of this up. It's way too much. Whoa. As a kid, I just thought, hey, cousins are getting to stay with us this weekend, right? But hearing my dad talk, and now that I look back and think about some of the scenarios that revolved around my aunt and uncle, point being, they were alcoholics and, you know, would wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and start drinking. So my mom and dad would take their children and help take care of them, make sure they had a safe place. This whole time as a kid, I thought, hey, my cousins get to come spend the night again. We get to play, blah, blah, blah. But after talking to Daddy, I was like, wow. It's really crazy how mixed up this world can be. Oh, I'm not sure what to do here, so I think I'm just gonna throw in some light green just because. I'm not a big pink or purple person, but for some reason I feel like bringing some different colors in. Because if it was up to me, I'd probably be drawn to all blues. And I just realized I could be mark making with the watercolor paint. See what kind of, we don't make mud, right? Okay, once it is dry, wow, I'm getting stuff all over me. We are going to take a marker. I'm going to put you on hold for a second and try to dry this a little bit more so I can mark on it. Okay. Be right back. 2 seconds for you, a few minutes for me. Okay, we are back. I think this first one is pretty dry, so we're gonna start with that one. And the idea was to come on and mark make and see if we saw any designs or anything. Oh, that was my idea, I guess I should say. And there's no rhyme or reason to my thinking. Is there ever? I think it's still a little wet. It wasn't writing real well. Let's see. This looks like a cloud almost. And I'm just doing whatever. Ooh, a little crooked, that's okay. Actually doing it on purpose now. What do we want to do here? And my first thought was this was going to go in my journal, so I'm not trying to make anything perfect. Oop. This one must still be a little wet too. And put some random circles on here. I'm just going to try to finish at least one on camera, so yeah, my pen doesn't want to write. And then let's see what I can get to come out of this. Okay, since I'm getting very quiet because I'm concentrating, I'm going to pause you and come back after I've done some mark making and have at least one finished. But hopefully you get the idea. I'm just going through whatever whatever seems to strike my fancy at that time. Then I wonder if you could have like okay, I am back. I've got the first two, and what we're going to do is, well, I guess we could peel the tape first. I was trying to leave that tape was too wide. Ended up wasting paper. Okay, let's cut this one out for sure. And let's see if we can. I'd like to have just a little bit of border on it, so I guess I can start with anyway, set that aside. Let's see what I got here. Oops. Ah, it's tearing the paper. That's not good. Hold please, I'm gonna heat this up. Okay, I used the heat gun to get the tape off because it was peeling up the paper. I need to trim this just a little bit more. Let's see, where are we at? Here, maybe? Still too big. Okay, of course you would not have to leave a frame. I just wanted to. So here we have, just for fun. Now remember, this is a belly band. If I was going to make it a bookmark, I would probably put something else on the back to make it thicker. And then punch a hole and put a tassel or something. But what I am going to do is I want to use this in my actual journal. So we're going to find a page for it. Blue and blue, not quite. That might work. Let's see what else we have. Okay, I'm not really liking the way it's how about that? Okay, we're going to put that here. Okay, so there you have it, a complete belly band. From watercolor and mark making. I needed a belly band because I had a letter. That's what got me thinking about this whole thing. And speaking to my dad and bringing up all the memories that this thing is getting a little full. Okay, now we have a pretty cool belly band. And I don't know if I should send... Okay, for now I'm just going to lay this in here and think about it. Okay, now we're going to have 2 more, but for today, that is it. I am going to close this video out. I hope everyone's having a great day, and then till we meet again, I'll see you on the flip side. Hugs to everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't liked and subscribe, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help the channel out. Okay, guys, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.